Hello everyone. Now I will share information about the cult anime Hellsing and its iconic character Alucard, which has made its mark in history. Since the topic is quite debatable, I kindly request you to share your thoughts in the comments. First of all, I should mention that the name Alucard is the reverse of Dracula, so it means the opposite or the antithesis of Dracula. As those who have watched the Hellsing anime will know, Alucard despises all vampires and aims to exterminate them. Therefore, I can say that his name truly reflects his nature. However, the story doesn't end there, as it extends to include information about the Ottoman Empire and the Turkish community. Here is the comprehensive story of Hellsing and Alucard. An issue prone to debate due to its somewhat dark source and its portrayal, especially in regard to the Ottomans and Turks. It is revealed that Alucard was enslaved by Ottoman conquerors in his childhood and abused by a high ruler. Throughout all this adversity, he defiantly clutched a silver cross. When he became the voivode of Wallachia, he launched a full-scale war against the Turks, leaving both sides devastated. Eventually, his forces were defeated, his people slaughtered, and his homeland set ablaze. Vlad himself was to be executed. However, before his head could be severed, he drank from the blood-soaked battlefield and became a true vampire. When he embraced the powers of darkness, the silver cross he always carried with him shattered into pieces. Whether this story is based on factual information is open to debate, but it takes the narrative to even darker places. After decades have passed, I assume you've watched Hellsing. Therefore, what I'm about to say might intrigue you. Indeed, Alucard is an incredibly powerful character, and his portrayal is extremely cool. Despite all these great aspects, there must be questions lingering in your mind. I've attempted to answer these questions. Why is Alucard so devoted to the Hellsing organization and its lineage? This hasn't been fully explained by either the anime or the manga. However, I see two possibilities, and I believe the second one is far more plausible than the first. Magical compulsion. Legendary Van Helsing, who defeated Alucard, decided not to destroy the vampire, but rather to enslave him through a sort of magic compulsion. Alucard was kept by the Hellsing family for centuries until he was bequeathed to Integra by his father Arthur. Alucard continues to serve Integra as his master, and he has no choice but to comply with her every command. It doesn't quite ring true, does it? Alucard seems quite content to serve his master, and Integra never issues an order that Alucard objects to. Keeping this in mind, here's the second possibility. Alucard chooses to serve Hellsing. After being defeated by Van Helsing, Alucard pledged his loyalty to the one who bested him. He continued this vow to subsequent masters, but only because Alucard deemed them worthy of his service. While Richard Hellsing could be considered the head of the family, Alucard didn't hesitate to sever his arm. However, Integra stood against the vampire and subsequently executed her treacherous uncle. Thus, she proved her courage, valor, and worthiness as Alucard's master. Additionally, Integra often appears disappointed by Alucard's actions, but she never ceases to demand him to be nothing more than a good dog, relinquishing his autonomy. Therefore, in my view, Alucard has chosen to serve a human whom he sees as a worthy master. If Integra were to lose his respect, she would lose his obedience. Hence, she largely leaves him free. Why is Alucard so powerful? This question can be answered by referencing another anime, Castlevania. Alucard is actually a dhampir, which means he is the offspring of a vampire and a human. Dhampirs possess all the strengths of a vampire but are largely devoid of many of their weaknesses. For instance, in Symphony of the Night, Alucard eats regular food instead of drinking blood, and in the Netflix series, he's shown eating garlic. To address your question, Alucard is a dhampir because his mother Lisa was human and his father is Dracula. Power restriction words. Another interesting topic is Alucard's power restriction words. Initially, the logic behind these words may not seem clear, but upon closer examination, the following questions arise. Why was Alucard so cruel and murderous in his human life? Alucard was legendary for his cruelty and brutality in his human life, especially in ways that were immoral and gratuitous. Interestingly, this was the type of behavior he most disapproved of and detested in the vampires he hunted. Perhaps these bloody actions were not senseless cruelty, but rather ethically justified from the perspective of being a vampire who sustains his existence. Therefore, there might be an element of remorse for the atrocities he committed in his service. Alucard is immensely powerful, to the extent that he can do almost anything to anyone at almost any time. So what is the one thing he lacks in this context? Constraints. Artists often say that constraints often support creativity rather than hinder it. Alucard's system of power restriction can be seen as a mechanism that brings balance to himself and his surroundings. It can be supported by phrases like, "Bring the power restriction system to level 2. I keep the power restriction open until the target is completely silenced." Debt and redemption to humanity. Surrendering himself to the Hellsing family could be a way for Alucard to fulfill what he perceives as his debt to humanity. This service might be a way that both entertains him and allows him to repay his debt in the best possible manner. Integra's respect for Alucard and her manner of releasing him served to reinforce Alucard's loyalty to Hellsing and his determination in this duty. The factors behind Alucard's allegiance to the Hellsing family and the source of his power demonstrate that he is a complex and intricately developed character. This loyalty could be explained by both an effort to absolve himself of past sins and a genuine devotion to the masters he respects and admires for their treatment of him. Why does Alucard use weapons? Alucard's use of weapons is also related to his power restriction. Most likely, he needs to unlock higher levels of power than he usually has access to, but fundamentally, most of these powers are not available to him. So, weapons become his primary tools when he needs to be more human. Another plausible option is partly for entertainment. Using weapons with bullets melted from church ornaments creates big bloody explosions and is visibly terrifying for humans. Using such weapons entertains Alucard. What are Alucard's powers? Alucard possesses the following powers: immortality, invulnerability, enhanced regeneration, supernatural senses, supernatural speed, supernatural strength, intangibility, gravity, defiance, manipulation, shape-shifting, teleportation, telepathy, hypnosis, sharpshooting skills, summoning familiars, creation of spawn, advanced combat skills, memory absorption through victims' blood. High resistance against most vampire weaknesses, omnipresence, spontaneous manifestation, and disappearance at will. These powers make Alucard nearly invincible. Understanding the limits of his power helps explain why he sometimes resorts to more traditional weapons. Conclusion. There are many details about Alucard's character and power. The use of weapons makes sense both due to power limitations and for his personal enjoyment. His powers make him almost invincible and further complicate his character. Additionally, evaluating Alucard within his own context rather than comparing him to other characters may be more meaningful. Each character has unique qualities within their own universe and context. What are your thoughts on this topic? Please share in the comments. As a reward for my effort, don't forget to like the video. Especially in the comments, you can specify how you found this series. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to subscribe. Joining members can watch my videos first and access them without waiting. Also, don't forget to join my Discord server to chat and share theories. I'm Asal Chadede. See you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.